With TI8 just a month away, I want to do a little bit of a recap of what we know about artifact-related news brought to you by Artifact Academy.
Interesting.
The master!
Are you ready to have some fun?
Let's go to work!
The International is Dota 2's biggest tournament of the year, and it's coming in just under a month away. I suspect we're not going to get any more official information from Valve in big doses before then, and there's probably going to be a big dose of information coming from there. Obviously, more leaks are possible, but I just wanted a bit of an update and summary of what we know for right now. It includes an assessment of what we learned from the beta leak, recap of the things that we do know, and then sort of speculate on what we might find out from the International when it actually comes around. So with that, let's start off by talking about the leak. Cyclops, who is a member of the Dota 2/Artifact community from Thailand, was invited to participate in the beta and shared a little bit more information about it than he probably should be. Unfortunately for him, of course, shared a screenshot and a Q&A that we probably all saw on the Reddit and received the boot quickly from Valve, as we might expect. Now, that doesn't mean that we can't benefit from it, even though he had a little bit of a misfortune. Let's talk about the Q&A first. It's really hard to pull very much useful information from this. He seems kind of confused about the big picture of what's going on, so I wouldn't really read too much about what's going on here. But we can pull some information from the deck builder. For instance, we have confirmation that Pugna is in the game. We'd strongly suspected that before, but it's nice to have that confirmed. We get to see what his card does, which is really cool. It seems pretty okay. You can't really evaluate it without seeing the hero card as well, but looks to be pretty strong to me at first glance. We want to talk about his ability first. Actually, we see that he has an active ability, which we haven't seen yet, I don't think, on a hero. We saw it, of course, on Blink Dagger already, but that's kind of neat that there are heroes that have active abilities as well. This condemns a random enemy improvement, which I know a lot of you are, of course, huge fans of randomness in these sorts of games, Hearthstone style, but this does seem to be quite powerful, especially if there are some decks that rely on very specific improvements as being an important part of the strategy. There's also a cooldown of 3 turns, as we know. That's an interesting thing about this as well. We'll get some confirmation about how the cooldown mechanic works, that it's going to be on active abilities as well. We saw the hero list that's off to the side. In addition to this, there's also, I think, a few non-heroes that are included in this as well. I don't think there's any reason to believe that the Ogre Bruiser, for example, is an actual hero in the game. There are 3 copies of it. Also, this seems to suggest that you might get access to all of the heroes to begin with, something that I know a few people have sort of predicted that might be the case, but that seems to be suggested by the fact that the player who just got started has access to all of them. But that also might just be beta-specific. There's also 11, of course, that are shown here, which further suggests that this is a fairly complete list of the heroes that are being shared. 4 rarities seems to be in the game. Pretty common amongst card games to show 4 rarities. There's a buy and sell cards tab right in the deck builder, which I think is going to be quite useful for simplifying the buying and selling of cards. You don't have to go to some separate screen in order to do that. This is a subject that I've been harping on, that Valve really has to get that clean and as smooth as possible, and having those tabs right in the deck builder will help with that. There's a little icon as well in the deck builder. It seems to show what the composition of your item deck is, I'm guessing. And I might be reading too much into it, but it looks like there might be a little tab for consumables as well, since there's 4 categories, and there's only 3 item types that you can equip to your units. Or could also be improvements too, I suppose. Also, I just want to quickly shout out the improvement to the art that we see here. Difference in the overlay. We see that the attack and the health are a little bit smaller, and the artifact symbol there in the middle. So that's nice too. So with that, what do we know heading into TI8? What is the information that we have? Well, we know the entire hero pool, basically. We've figured this out between copyright information that we were mining and then the leak information that we've had at various points. None of these are confirmed, of course, but these are pretty good indication of the list. We know a number of high-profile card game personalities that have been involved in the beta. We know more or less how the shop mechanics work. We know the list of the names of all the cards in the game. We don't exactly know what they do, but we know the names. So what are we waiting for? What do we plan to learn? What are we hoping to learn from TI8? I picked out 3 areas that we really want to know a lot more about, that'll tell us a lot more about the game. First is more just details about the economics, which will make a really big difference. How much do transaction costs actually cost us? How much do packs cost to buy, etc.? How many cards are in a pack? Those kinds of things. We don't really have much information about schedules, of course. They suggested that it would be coming at the end of the year, but we haven't had information about that, so it'd be nice to get an update on the scheduling front, and we really don't know very much about what the cards themselves do. We know lots of names of cards, and we know lots of the names of the heroes that are involved, but what their actual abilities are, we don't know. It should be stressed, of course, that we who are the denizens of the Reddit have a bit of a leg up over the average person. There are probably a lot of people who don't really know very much about Artifact and haven't heard about it since TI7. So while there's a lot of information that we'll probably be receiving at TI8 that we've already known, we've known for months, but will be redundant. For example, we know the entire hero pool, but a casual observer might only know the 10 that were shown off in the gameplay videos, if even those. So when somebody comes onto the Reddit, a month from now and says, "Hey, Meepo's in the game. This is so exciting. I didn't know Meepo's. That's so cool." We've known about Meepo's, of course, since April. So it's a little bit weird to see that all of a sudden, and I won't be surprised if we see a lot of those sorts of posts, but just be prepared for those and be courteous, of course, when that comes around. Of course, I do expect that they're going to show off some specific cards and what they do, and show us off their abilities. There'll probably be at least a few more. I wouldn't be expecting to see a whole whack of new cards. There are going to be a lot of these that are saved until you actually get into the beta or the game itself, but that'll be something that'll be exciting. Don't expect a really confirmation about the entire hero list. Yes, we've pieced this together because we're psychos, but that's probably not the kind of thing that they're going to nail down until the NDA is lifted. An area that I really don't expect very much new information is actually about the economy. This is the kind of thing that they usually keep this behind closed doors until the last possible moment, because it doesn't matter what the prices that you set. Somebody's going to be like, "That's too expensive." This is the response that you always get for these kinds of things, and until they're really confident on how they want it to work, they're going to keep it behind NDAs. Hopefully we get a little bit more gameplay. Maybe we're lucky enough we get the second half of the two-turn games that we've been seeing before from the red-black side. But no, seriously, I do expect that we're going to get some more gameplay footage, or hopefully, at the very least. Also, remember these guys? Remember the Yogcast folk who apparently went to Valve to hopefully talk about something Artifact-related? Well, we haven't heard anything from them for months. So I wouldn't be surprised if we actually get some Yogcast-involved content at TI8 specific to Artifact, given how everything sort of fit together there. We had sort of suggested maybe they are making content for TI8, and people then said, "Oh no, that's too far away. We're not going to see it then." But I don't know. I guess it makes sense now. In terms of schedules, they're probably just going to say that it's expected to be released 2018 in December. Kind of suggested this before, and they're probably just going to repeat that again. Whether it's happening or not, of course, is difficult to tell. But of course, what a lot of us are the most concerned about is information about the beta. I really think that this is the last chance they have to give us information about the beta, if it's happening at all. Of course, the Q&A that we saw at the beginning did suggest that there wasn't going to be a beta, but who knows whether that's correct or not. If we don't get information about it now, it's probably not happening, which is really unfortunate. But them's the breaks. Wouldn't be surprised if we get a little bit more lore information as well, just to close things off. This isn't about the key mechanics of the game, but it's a nice little thing to drop along. Probably going to give us at least a few tidbits about the lore specific to Artifact. This video was brought to you by Artifact Academy. I haven't been as involved in content creation recently for you guys. I was distracted by a set release in the other game that I've been focusing on and actually playing. I will return to my card game economics series in the near future, and I also have some interesting plans in line about what's going to be happening with the website and the channel in the near future. So I can't get into that now, but if you are somebody who's involved in content creation or have experience in content creation, please get in contact with me, because I have some ideas that I'm sort of working on right now. With that, thank you everyone for hanging out with me today. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. Comment with your feedback, and of course comment on Reddit as well to share your thoughts. You can contact me on Reddit on either at Academy Artifact or at Neon Eternal, and you can even hit me up on Discord. Thank you so much. Once again, take care everybody.